It's going down like this, motherfucker.
Nigga get mad. Say, motherfucker, what you mean you ain't gonna let me in this funky joint? Much money I done spent in here, nigga. I knew your mama when she was hoeing. Hump, baby. Shit, bet I do it over time. Fade that, nigga. Shit. Bet the ball. Off time. Shit, boy, I'm trying to make me some money. Boy, I'm hungry as a hog needs. Slap Jesus. Shit, gotta be a Jesus, cause too many black folks.
Limousine, and every time I'm seen, I got to be clean. Limousine, and every time I'm seen, I got to be clean.
For what he has, he says that the only way that we can solve our problem is to unite together among ourselves, among our own kind, clean ourselves up, rid ourselves of the evils that we've become addicted to here in this society, and try and...
This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying. This ain't loud enough. I'm still trying.
Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man. Yes, he destroy black boys. If you destroy him as a boy, he'll never become a man.
Your feet. He looked down, seen his feet. The nigga went berserk, killed the monkey, threw the bat out the window, start kicking that bitch in the air.
You don't understand.
Group of you together, you never can tell who's who.
I've seen a lot of black guys, Nipsey, but you're overdoing it. It's cool enough just being cool, like I am.
You're a philosopher?
Yes. 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 Yes.
You're a philosopher?
Yes.
You're a philosopher?
Yeah. I think very deeply.
Up yours, nigger.
TikTok. A lot of the white content creators on TikTok get all of their dances from the black content creators.
Damn white boys out there. Most of them is psychopaths and all that. They'll kill your mama's mama. And you...
Decent white folk that still don't know they're racist.
What the hell you want here, hunky?
Don't know me what it.
What's all that noise? What's all that noise?
I don't mean to be out of line. I mean to be rude. I don't mean to be out of line.
What's all that noise? What's all that noise? What's all that noise? Oh, that's his dad.
Your lines are still open. Oh shit, you can get it, nigga. You wanna get it?
Your shit. Get your hands off of me, shit! This is no cocaine, now I beam for the check, yeah.
My word, can't be my equal, I don't know what you heard.
I think we OD. I think we OD.
Doing the styles on them like it's common sense. Doing the styles on them like it's common sense.
That's the difference when you're my baby. That's how it is when you.
Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I come. Baby, I'm a walking dead man, is what they call me when I coming. I hit the little juice, and pulls up in the deuce.
Schatzi, is it true what they say about the way you people are gifted? Oh, it's true. It's true. It's true.
I guess you go to the history of European civilizations. 250 years is how long they last before they implode because of their greed, because of their violence, because of an inability to let others be, including themselves. If they didn't have brown and black people to hate, they would hate themselves.
Greetings. This is Big Pontiac, and welcome to the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins, and I am that one and only galactic daddy-o welcoming each and every one of you to my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the universe. Well, you know how I do it. And I forgot to bring my glass up here, but it's not necessary. Because when you have beer, it has its own glass. It has its own glass with it, so. And it's no surprise that we have Great Lakes Elliott Nest, the best beer in the world. So let's zip it up. And so, it's in here somewhere. Maybe it's not. Maybe I dropped it. I just dropped some shit. No, so pop them if you got them. And even without a motherfucking glass, what the fuck was that? Even without a glass, you probably still wish you could be me right now. You wish you could be me right now, drinking the sweet Elliott Nest, sitting up here, getting the nectar of the gods. And we are also smoking on the Luca Unicorn Hookah. So smoke them if you want them. Goddamn, Margot, she looks like the neighborhood coon. Wow, that a delicious taste. Well, you saw what it was called. The name of the show is The Eagles Won and Nothing Else Matters. And so I will go over it with you. And, you know, my picks are on wax, so, you know, I can't change the picks. But, you know, you'll once showing all the today's efforts, you'll see that I am superior in handicapping. All right, so, you know, I picked the Eagles. And the Eagles did cover because they was giving up 6.5. We went over, so that's 63. So this was over. I did lose this one. The Browns was giving up 3.5, and the Browns did not cover the over and under. I didn't do that one either. I'm sorry. So far we got I've won one, lost one. All right, the Chiefs lost. I lost that one too. And the Chiefs not only lost, they did not cover. The over and under was, so it went under because I think it's 38. Yeah, that's 33. Yeah, so it was under. So the under hit for them. So I've lost 1, 2, 3, 4. I've lost 2 so far. So Bengals, I won that one. No, I lost that one too. I lost Bengals and the Ravens. And the Bengals and Ravens Ravens were getting him up 8, and over and under was, so what we got? 44. So it definitely went over. Wow. Okay. I did get the Chargers and Chargers and the Bears. I got that one. All right, where are we at? Chargers. Let's see. Okay, where we at? We're at Saints. How did it jump on me like this? Okay. I already got this. I got the Bills. I had picked the Bills, Saints, and Colts. I lost that one. So that would be my 4th loss. And what do we got for over and under? The over and under on the Colts was, and that was a pick'em game. That was a pick'em game. And the over and under was 43. So it's over. It was over on that game. That's a surprising over. Jaguar Steelers. I did pick the Jags. Yep, up here. And the Jags gave up. The Jags covered because the Jags only gave up 2.5. And I'm sorry I didn't put the over and under on that one. Texas and the Panthers. I did pick the Panthers. And the Panthers gave up. Where are we at? Yeah, the Panthers didn't cover, though, because the Panthers gave up 3. So if you took Texans and you took the points, you won. And the over and under was 43. Obviously, it was under. Dolphins and the Patriots. Again, I picked the Dolphins. And the Dolphins were giving up 9. And so they covered. Falcons and the Titans. I picked the Titans, and the Titans gave up 2.5. So the Titans covered. So what do we got? 50, 40, 51. And it was over because the over and under was 35. Vikings beat the Packers, which I did pick. And that was a pick'em game. The over and under was 42. So what he got? 34. So it was another under game. Rams, Cowboys. I did pick the Cowboys at home. And matter of fact, the Cowboys were given 6. And yeah, and the over and under, where we at? Rams, 43 was over and under, and it was 45. So it was under. Jets and Giants, I did pick the Jets, and the Jets gave up 3. So the Jets did cover. Again, I lost Browns and Seahawks, as I said. Bengals and 49ers did not get that one. I think I went over that one already. What's the next one? Got the Bears, Chargers, Ravens. So today wins. I won the Bills, Jets, Jags. That's 3. Eagles is 4. Cowboys is 5. Vikings is 6. Titans is 7. Dolphins is 8. Panthers is 9. And the Chargers were 10. Yep. Chargers were 10. So I went 10-5 today. 10-5. 10-5 today. And then tomorrow night, we'll see who wins that game between the Lions and the Raiders. The Lions are giving up 8, over and under 46. So my handicap looked pretty good today. My handicapping looked pretty good. So it was a chill day today. Chill day today. Always joyful to see my Eagles win. It was a chill day. So I can wear the Eagles proudly. Can you wear your team's colors proudly? And my 2 favorite Eagle jerseys was the Donovan McNabb, which was fully sewn in. I mean, that again, I saw that jersey at the Mall of America. It was like $150. That same jersey I found at one of the Goodwill-like places. We got a place called Unique. It was like $5-10. Fitted McDab. Not Vikings, Eagles. I mean, the stitch one. Now, my Michael Vick, I got that as soon as they started making them. I had a girl, because she was like, can't you get it online? I was like, they're not even selling them online, huh? Can you get me one? So she sent me one from Philadelphia, a young lady that I grew up with. She sent me one. And, when I moved out, my ex and them had moved some of my stuff, and those 2 jerseys disappeared. They don't know what happened to them. We don't know what happened to them. Yeah, okay. But So we can always get others, but yeah, those were my favorite ones. So who's rocking with me tonight? Dr. Sinister, what's happening? And I know you got to have vision. And so, since we are on the Galactic Patio, we definitely got to be doing. Would you like to dance with me? We're doing the cosmic slump. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And he wants to know where his... Dr. Sinister wants you to know that he always checks on his...
My bitches. You saying you can't control your bitches? What?
Big Stank, what's happening? And you definitely got to have vision. And since we up here on this motherfucker, you gotta definitely be doing. Would you like to dance with me? We're doing the cosmic sock. Doing the cosmic sock. You hear about the Project 225? You think it is BS or what? OTF, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? And I know you definitely got to have vision. Well, let's look it up. No, I do not know about it. Let's see. Let's see what it brings up. Okay, let's bring it up. If this is what you mean right here. It says, is a plan to reshape the executive branch of the federal government in the event of a Republican. Okay. Project 2025 is the plan to reshape the executive branch of the U.S. federal government in the event of a Republican victory in 24. Established in 22, the project seeks to recruit thousands to come to D.C. to replace existing employees to restructure the executive branch of the federal government. As to further the agenda and policies of Donald Trump, the plan would perform a quick takeover of the entire U.S. federal government under a Maximus versions of the unitary executive theory, a theory proposing that the president has absolute power of the executive branch upon inauguration. To provide Republican Party president nominee with a personal and ideology framework after civil service refused to support Trump during his attempt to institute a Muslim travel ban, effort to install a new attorney general to assist him in attempting to overthrow the election. When he called the lethal force against George Floyd protesters in April, the Heritage published a blueprint written by hundreds of conservatives, most prominently officials. This argued expansion of the presidential power, installation of conservatives to office when the executive branch was the unitary theory. So expansion of presidential powers. I don't know, bro. You know, it doesn't really matter, you know. I don't know. It's probably bullshit. I would say it's bullshit. Because again, how's everybody so quickly going to get a federal, what do you call it? You know, with their background checks and stuff and get a federal, whatever it's called, you know. That's going to take a minute. Ain't nobody just coming in and getting, what do you call, federal passes, you know, background. That's not the word, but how, you know, it's going to take a while to get all that. So there's no way you could do it really quick. PJ Allen, what's happening? And I know he's definitely got to have vision. And he always controls his.
My bitches. You saying you can't control your bitches? What?
And he's used to coming to the Galactic Patio and getting it on with the. Would you like to dance with me? We're doing the cosmic slump. There we go. And El Dragon, Amaroon Khan, what is happening? And I know that you
got to have vision.
And I know you definitely, on the Galactic Patio, you definitely want to. Would you like to dance with me? We're doing the cosmic slump. So yeah, that's first time heard about it. But I mean, you know, to get the federal, what is it called? Not to pass, but you know, to get the federal, the right to work for the federal government under a certain level. You know, you'd have to get all that before they could take over like that. So, But you know, they see a lot of people were like what I was calling for, and I was saying the same thing. What my man A. Philip Randolph said. You know, now look what King did. You know, Malcolm highlighted that. Now what King did, and you know, take all the folks, and now what Farrakhan did, take all the people between dead European presidents. Nah, that wasn't what the point of it was. The point of what A. Philip Randolph says: go to D.C., shut the government down with so many people up there, so they have to listen to us. So that's why and there was a lot of people calling for that. That's why we saw the fake thing. See, they faked one because so many people was calling for it, but enough people weren't organized to put it through. I said everybody in the country. Leave your cars fired to take you, start bringing everybody in there. All what they say, 300 million people. And really strangle that part of the country until they do the will of the people. You know? That's really what should have happened. You know, and so they found an excuse to lock themselves away, chain themselves all around that. You know, the Masons is up there scared. All that hocus pocus they did, you know, because there's big magic up there. That is one of the reason why they picked that area, you know, Maryland, is because that has some of the strongest ley lines in the whole country, if not the whole world. And the reason why they put George Washington's penis in the air, again, you know, that's showing, you know, what they want this country to be. You know, I mean, and why, you know, like everyone knows that, you know, the Black Hills, it's a Stargate in the Black Hills. So that's why they put them 4, again, Mason heads up in there to block that Stargate energy in the Black Hills. Because it was already, you know, they called it the great grandfathers. So that's what really should have happened. And that's why they had the fake stuff you saw. That was all fake. It was all planned. It was actors. We know the FBI was with them. We know they was getting what do you call it? Tour guides the day before. Some of the same people they say was doing all this hell was being shown a tour of the place. So it was all some bullshit. Power forward. So I don't know. Wembley is getting exposed out there. I think he's too skinny. If he plays any competing big man with size, he'll have problems. Absolutely. That's why they got blowed out today. They got blowed out. Well, we saw that with Williams. Remember? Did you guys notice when Williams checked him the other night? You know, I mentioned that the other night too. When Williams checked him, he wasn't, you know, long as Williams stayed close to him, he wasn't really separating from Williams. And Williams was just, and what is Williams, 6'8", 6'9"? Think closer to 6'8". But Williams was sitting there bodying him. So yeah, see what he doesn't, what you have to understand is every night he's playing against the best. And so every night they're going to try him and he ain't going to be able to block everything every night. And they're not on a very good team either. Keep that in mind. That team is still not a great team. Power forward. Yeah. So yeah, he can't match up every night with American power forwards. And like I mentioned before, the exposure, you know, the way they like hiding guys. They hid even Blake Griffin. They hid him for a year under the eye that he had an injury, and Ben Simmons was hit. So I'm surprised he's playing. I'm really surprised. I thought they would hide him for a year. You know, Chet Holmgren damn near tore his Achilles. So, you know, he hurt his leg pretty bad last year. So he had to sit the year. So, you know, he's nothing but hype. Like, you know, not to say that he can't be good. Because one thing I learned is you play against them mugs every day and you practice against them mugs, you get better. You just can't help but getting better. I mean, that's kind of how it works. It's like if you're a young man and you play against grown men every day, you're going to get better habits. I said, you know, my cousins, from the time I went from, I think, 8th grade to 9th grade, you know, trying to bring it up in front of their face, they always knocked the ball out of my hand. I was trying to bring the ball up and they always knocked it out of my hand when I was in 8th grade. Yeah, that next year, that shit was coming up so much quicker that, you know, but they helped me. By them knocking the ball out of my hand, it helped me get a quick up. Because I started being able to do it quicker than they could stick their hand in there. Because I would anticipate that, and I would lift it up quicker than they could stick their hand in there. And then once I rose, there was nothing they could do, because they definitely wasn't blocking my shit. But they did both help me. You know, 2 cats, Chunky and my cousin's ex-husband, Butch. They did help me. I'll say that. They did help me in that regard, you know, to get my hands quicker. I think he'll be a shooting up threes. I think his game is going to be similar to Dirk Nowitzki's game. I think it's going to be that. And Dirk, remember, he was a horrible rebounder till his last years. I mean, this dude, yeah, he gonna give you 35, but 2-3 rebounds at 7 foot, you know, yeah, and not blocking any shots. I mean, Dirk was just a scorer. That's it. And later, as they went to the championship row, he became a better rebounder. But for a while, he wasn't doing shit on the board. So, power forward, not big man. I think he'll be shooting them up threes. That wouldn't surprise me. He's not gonna play the three or a big one like Giannis dude used to be skinny like Wembley. Yeah, Adonis. Yeah, and they hit him too. I mean, he's a guy that probably shouldn't have even made the league. Giannis, his skill set just wasn't there. And still, even today, he still shoots a set shot. His skill shot, anybody else wouldn't have made it with his skill set when he came in the NBA. No one else would have gotten that chance. They'd have been shipped off somewhere because he couldn't shoot. He couldn't shoot. And if it wasn't late, that's all he could shoot was layups, and watch his early game, layups. Like even his dominating years, it was layups. Everybody's letting him go coast to coast. Then Kawhi gets in front of him at 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". He stops him. But can't nobody else stop him. But all of a sudden, when it's title time, Kawhi Leonard, shorter guy, can stop him. Like nobody else could have got in front of him and stopped the ball. And we saw how they fixed it for him. There's no secret how they fixed it for him. Everybody just let him dribble down and don't nobody stop him. And, it wasn't like he couldn't be stopped. It was like they refused to stop him. That's what it is. They refused to stop him. So, Globetrotter ball. Like Connie Hawkins talking about rims, that's rims, I think is what they called it when they did the water trick and all the tricks that Globetrotters did. So, yes, I have motherfucker just out of muscle defenders. Yeah, he has no skill. Exactly. Yeah, no skill at all. No skill at all. If he can't muscle you, what did he have? And I got on him. I was like, okay, he's shooting them set shot threes. Definitely basket manipulation. Oh, and then I got on him again. I said, oh, now they're trying to develop the mid-range. They kind of abandoned the mid-range. And so if he can't bully ball people, what skills does he really have? If he can't bully you, what skills does he have? I mean, he ain't like Zion. Zion got nice moves to the basket. Zion is really a throwback to Adrian Dantley, Truck Robertson, but really Adrian Dantley. That's who he reminds me of. It's just he's more layup than Adrian had. I mean, his short game had like everything. I mean, but he's shooting layups on the world. And Dr. J said Adrian was the hardest to stop. And I think Adrian Dantley was only 6'5", but beating everybody to the basket. That used to be, the short game. You ain't got to shoot threes. There's people that can shoot 8 feet and never miss. So, yeah, 17 for 17 free throws. But remember Dwayne Wade. What was Dwayne Wade? 20 out of 20 something? Remember Dwayne Wade shot damn near 30 free throws with him and Shaq? Because remember, they lost. They was down 3-1. And that was the better Dallas team with Jerry Stackhouse in there. And Dwayne Wade, shooting 25 free throws, they was giving him the Karl Malone treatment. Karl Malone didn't have a whole lot of game, but he was at the line a whole bunch of times. He probably had the most free throws shot. That's probably Wilt. Yeah, Zion, Curry, the best tough layup finishers. Yeah, Curry had the one where he did yesterday, and he kind of swung it out and flipped it up. That was kind of nice. Yes, he gets to the basket really quick. I will say that on Steph. Can't say those are manipulated. And, he's a prime example. If you play against the best, you do get better. I mean, or you don't be in a league, And they keep, they keep actors. They want actors around the league because actors is what the league is about. They're not really athletes, but actors. Excuse me. Or I guess we can call them actor athletes, entertainers. They're entertainers. That's what they're there for. So yeah, Wemby is going to be. He's not. Again, he's a lot of hype. And see, we have people like Barkley. Barkley really got real on him, And they must have got at him because he told him, he said, the only reason you bringing these Europeans in here is to bring European butts in the seats. Barkley said that early in his career. He said that about 15 to 20 years ago. And then the next moment he's going, Ginobili, my favorite European. You could see they had got to him. But Charles said it. Charles, like, he probably didn't even think what he said. He was like, yeah, y'all only bringing them over here to get people to watch the games. And then you saw a couple shows later, he's screaming Ginobili's name. That's my favorite European player. Because they turned him. It's like, hey, this is the agenda. This is the agenda. Something that we did go show the world. And really, you know, it's too bad the Globetrotters couldn't have got more money out of it because the Globetrotters showed the world basketball. And there's no denying that. They showed the world basketball. Then later, the NBA went into Europe and said, hey, we're going to start getting rid of these American niggas. And we don't have enough Europeans to you know, be our Larry Bird. We only had one Larry Bird. And they did not, let me say this, the NBA did not like Pete Maravich. They did not highlight him. They put him on a sucky team because they can put you, they say the draft, but if they want you to be successful, they can make sure you play on a good team. They didn't like him. Isn't that funny? They did not like Pete Maravich, but they liked Larry Bird. But they didn't like Pete Maravich because he was one of the first ones they had to pay that bread to. And because they had to pay him that bread, they didn't like him. And they made sure he didn't be successful because he wasn't successful. Because again, what they was trying to say is, well, the people make the most money ain't gonna be the most successful. You got to choose. Do you want the most bread or you want to be successful? And that's kind of what they did to Pete. And he's probably one of the most underrated players. And he's the greatest scorer, bar none, in college sports. Now, I didn't say the greatest winner. That's Kareem or Lou Alcindor. But the greatest scorer, no doubt, was Pete. You know, Kareem had to get somebody to give Kareem the ball, not Pete. He'd bring it up. And when he giving you 44, he going to have about 10 or 11 assists. Because that was just his game. You know, he's one of the best passers. He's the most underrated player. Hall of Fame, no doubt. Donich, better chance of being the next great than Wemby. Yeah, Luka, they don't like Luka, though. They don't like Luka. Porzingis, they definitely don't like him. And I mean, it didn't help when they came in the league. And it's funny, it was a referee. Did y'all see, what game was it yesterday? What game was it? The referee, what game did I watch last night? I'm old man. But anyway, one of the referees had the Nazi haircut. And I kind of laughed because when Porzingis and Luka came in the league, they came in the league with them SS haircuts. And then last night, one of the referees had that same SS haircut. And I'm like, look at this. Look at this here. You never saw history books? That's the SS haircut, buddy. And you're playing it. You know, like Michigan State, you know, they flash Hitler across the screen. You know, it was so quick, most people, you know, wouldn't even notice. Man, wow, I want to play this that Ancestor Production put out. I hope he doesn't mind because this shit is powerful. I want to play a little bit of what he played because this shit is powerful. I'll go sports a little longer. You know, I'm not going to be here terribly long, but I'll go a little longer. I am kicking ass. I'm telling you what, let me see what my record overall is. Shit, with those wins today, I am overall, what is this? 52 and, what is that, 5? $23? 52 and 23. Damn, I'm pretty good. Oh. Hey. Nazi boys. Yeah. I noticed that. Y'all remember when they was playing on the same, playing on the same team. They both had the Nazi haircuts. So I was tripped when I saw the ref. I chuckled to myself. Yeah, I was like, okay. The ref get away with it, but we don't let you jokers get away with it because we know where y'all come from. That's why you had one of Diana's boy wearing the Nazi outfits because them was German people. You know, I've talked about that many times. The Queen was a German. How did the Germans take over? because she was a cousin. Because of a cousin, it's like the former person died, and a cousin, cousin was a cousin German was put into power. Well, them English motherfuckers ain't got no king, so we need to send a relative over there. So our cousin is the closest person. German. They fight for Germans. So, how much did they really hate him? And we know Henry Ford hated them motherfuckers. Rothschilds gave the Germans and American money, but they gave them Nazis a lot of money. And that can't be denied. The money trail is there. Who gave the Nazis money? The Nazis didn't have no money. So, somebody, what did they say? They kicked a group out that came to a, I showed that a couple weeks ago. They went to somewhere and everybody was dressed up in SS outfits. Last time I checked, them SS outfits ain't bad looking. They made by Hugo Boss, that makes Russell Boss, Boss. The SS, you still see the SS. Hugo Boss made the SS Nazi uniforms, and you still see in BOSS. The SS is still there, so it ain't hidden anywhere. I mean, what do they say is, what does it look like when a Jewish faith person drives a Mercedes? You would think they never want anything to do with a Mercedes, Porsche, Volkswagen. That ain't the case. What was the stereotype of a Jewish faith person in Florida? They drove a Mercedes. Right? And last we know that Hitler's six-wheeler was a Mercedes. I think he had two of them. I think one of them six-wheelers is in America. So, he wasn't for y'all. But now you feel comfortable driving the Hitler cars, just like the Porsche and the Volkswagens. Hey, they had them Hitler Volkswagens everywhere in America. I told the story before. My father turned in a Bel Air. And if you price a Bel Air today and you price one of them Volkswagens that didn't have any heat in it, cool, had the air-cooled engine. And I said the story before. My dad was nothing but the little boy that got teased. If he got teased, he had to change it, because, you got teased. He was the nigga that really couldn't take, like, he could talk about motherfuckers. He didn't like being talked about. That nigga's feelings would get hurt. His feelings would get hurt. If motherfucker talked about my dad, he didn't like that shit. Because I told him one time, he talked some bullshit to me. I was like, nigga, you need better friends. That shit, me and him really wasn't cool for years after that. He tried to say some bullshit to me, and I'm like, nigga, this is what you did for your brother and your brother's friend. And then when it came to me, what? Well, my friend, you need better friends. And he ain't like that shit. He held that shit against me, probably till he lost his memory. But, that's how I go. I'm a nigga that probably could have helped him. But, that's how it is. Hey, Jeffrey Lang, what is happening? And I know Jeffrey definitely has to have.
Got to have vision.
And on the Galactic Patio, everybody is doing.
Would you like to dance with me? We're doing the cosmic slump.
Oh, so thank you for coming in, Jeffrey Lane. Driving Mercedes. Never thought about it. Yeah. That was like a stereotype. What sense does that make? These motherfuckers telling all these stories, but yet y'all asses is in bins. Make that make sense. Yeah, right there in your motherfucking face. And the Volkswagens that they made so popular. Slugbug was the game when I was a boy. It was so many of them raggedy motherfuckers with no heat in them. But yet them Nazi. And so, we know they didn't lose the war. How are they allowed all them Nazi cars to come over here? The Volkswagen, the People's Wagon, right? They brought millions over here, and you think the mugs lost the war? Why did we need Nazi cars? Why did we need Porsches in America? Why did we need Volkswagens and Mercedes and Audis? Audis is part of Porsche. That's why they probably changed the name. They like, hey, we got to think of a name. Because Volkswagen, I think they was using, Volkswagen means people's wagon. That's tied into Nazis too. So, but I forgot to tell you my point. I really thought like it would have been a hell of a good costume, Halloween costume to wear that Nazi shit. Man, it's a picture, and I haven't been able to find it. It was somebody had a book. It was a picture, and all them motherfuckers is standing like it must be all the officers and shit. But all of them are standing outside, and they're standing with Hitler, and all these niggas got on green leather, long leather coats. I mean, these motherfuckers look so stiff in that picture, like they ain't high Hitler and this shit. They just all kind of standing, and somebody took a picture, and these motherfuckers is all wearing, the riding boots. They got the riding boots on, but all them motherfuckers got them long ass green leather coats and shit. That shit was so stiff. I was like, yeah, I could have fit in just because of the clothes. I would have loved to be a Nazi too. I'd have been a Nazi and been treasure hunting like a motherfucker. They'd have sent me, I'd have been chasing Indiana Jones and shit. They like, well, what do you want to do for us? I want to chase them motherfuckers, and it might be some shit that, make us win the war better. Well, go give me the bread and I'll be all in that motherfucker. Oh, but I'm definitely gonna show Ancestor Production. CWE Wembley played bad. Yeah, don't be surprised. I mean, it's every night somebody gonna be going at his ass. Like when he played in France, it wasn't every night they'd go at his ass. And I showed you his championship. Like game 1, game 2, he didn't do shit. Like game 3, when they even game 3 when they won, he didn't really dominate. But the 2 games they got blowed out. Come on, you show me a winner. Like Magic Johnson came in, he was a winner. I think Luka's team won before he came here. This motherfucker's team don't even win, and they still say he's the greatest. So we'll see. And we ain't been hearing nothing about the boy. They might try to put Miller in jail. They said they're going after Miller again. So, but I think that bread will keep him out. I think the NBA and the other lawyers would keep him out because I think they was prepared for all this. At least they should have been. So yeah, Wembley, he's it's a lot more games. They used to playing them short series over in Europe. 80 games is a lot. That's why, you really have to marvel at the old ABA players. And I've said this, I'm gonna kind of repeat myself, but like Spencer Haywood, this nigga averaged 30 something and like 15 to 18 rebounds a game for 80 games. So the average 30, some of them games you gotta have 40, 50, 60. I mean, look, the year Wilt's averaged 50, he scored 100 in a game. He scored 70 something in a game. He scored 60 something. I still don't think James Harden tied him the amount of times he scored 60. So the average 50, you ain't having no 5 and 10 point games. Look at this. You can still look them stats up. This motherfucker was doing it every night. And that's why, like I bring up Spencer Haywood, because these dudes was doing it in front of nobody. Not really, wasn't a lot of games where they had great fans, but yet this motherfucker was still gonna go get his 30. I mean, that's loving to hoop. And that's seeing that you can be dominant and giving it your all. I think George McGinnis did the same thing, Roger Brown. It don't matter who in the stands, I'm gonna do my thing. Y'all keeping stats, the paper here, they might put me on the local news, so I'm gonna put my work in. And that's probably the specialist thing about the ABA is they put that work in despite not getting a lot of fan support. Like I know when you see Dr. J play and they play in the championships and they played in the Nassau Coliseum, I think you see it packed. Yeah, that ain't when the season started in November, December games. You think about the ABA and them early months. It ain't. I mean, if you lived in ABA cities. Like the preseason game was all NBA teams that I saw. I think the nearest ABA team would have been Pacers. Would have been the Pacers. That would have been the nearest ABA team. So that's why I think I knew so much about George McGinnis. Because the Pacers were, I lived about from there in Indianapolis, about 5 hours. I think Michigan is just 5 hours north, or where I lived in Michigan. I think it took us 5 hours to get to Indianapolis. I think it's 3 hours to Fort Wayne. If I remember right, about 5 hour trip. Not really bad. Straight shot too. I think it's 169. Then you hit if you want to go to like you coming off Yeah, I think it's just 169 and you got to hit 75 once you go. I forget, but I think that's the way I went. I think it's just 169. I think 169 takes you to Fort Wayne and Indianapolis, I think, if I remember right. It's been a while, but can you go over Luca's magnet manipulation shot versus the Nets? I didn't see it. I have to look that one up. My girl, the NBA package really is more affordable than the NBA. The NBA pass is more affordable, so we might get that. I don't have that, so I didn't see it. So, and I only made 2 videos today, so I really didn't make a lot of videos. Fucking around, didn't really do nothing, but I did a little bit. Had to rescue my cat and bring him over here, try to take him to the vet and stuff, get him checked out. The one that didn't get killed, I was trying to talk to that lady, but she wasn't home. Yeah. It's just funny, like when you love things and then you can't, for one reason or another, you just can't keep taking care of them, but you try to still give them the best care possible in the best situation. And it's just sad that, my cat had to die from fear, because she was loved and she was taken care of and just ran outside and just went to the wrong spot. Can you watch it? Luca over, let's see. I don't know where would I find it? Where would I find it? That particular shot. I don't know where I would find it, OTF. I look on YouTube to see if YouTube has Luca's shot over him. If somebody else posted it. Who? Oh, okay, Jeffrey. Luca's. Okay, maybe Luca's bank shot. Let's see if that brings up anything. Maybe it is. Maybe they do show it. Okay. Oops, go. Maybe they do show it. It says 2 days ago, so this must be it. All right, all right, here we go. Basket manipulation. Let's see it. And technically, you're kind of seeing zoned up. He's zoned up back here. Technically, he's kind of more playing an area than guarding him to flash. He's kind of falling back here. And let's see what we got here. Handed it back to him. Okay, why not double him right now? Why not double him right now hard? You come with a hard double, there's nowhere he could go. You could have cut him off. Why didn't he double hard here? That's the first thing I think of. All right. Now, what do I always say? The most successful shots is the most squared. Okay, he's still really not squared up. And look at the energy of his legs. So he's not really squared up. Look at his legs. His legs are faced away. Look at his feet. These are not faced. So again, it takes everything to work right to make the shot successful. Okay. Get back to him. Again, look right here. Look at the energy. That's what I try to say is a shot is like a free throw. You have to, your jump shot is like a free throw. You do the same thing over and over again. So if there's a little bit off, okay, why not the hard double? He ran out of bounds to run himself out of the play. Okay. So he's jumping on one leg. Look at that. He hooked it from back over there, one leg. Yeah, that. Come on, that's not believable. And you see how they lost the ball. You was probably watching it live. You probably wouldn't have lost the ball. But it's all about energy. And look at the energy here. His body is, you know, he didn't get a full jump on both legs. He had to jump off one leg because of the way he's getting, you know, to get separation here. And so again, the energy's just not in it. And what's the odds from here to get this bank here? You know, it's just, you can see this is definitely manipulated, and we lose the spin, you know, we lose the spin in the shot. Now from right here, it should have went on. It shouldn't even hit the basket. It should have hit right there. From the energy, but what it's looking like, it looks like it should have hit way over here, but watch the magnet bring it in. Yep. The attraction is really, if you look at the angle of the shot, the vector, the way it dropped, you know, vector is nothing but the drop angle. And the drop angle shouldn't have put it right there. Yeah, it's some bullshit. That was some bullshit. And look, he's looking over, you know, he's looking over. That's his guys, though, ain't it? Yeah, ain't that Dallas over there? His guys. But my point is, you know, they show more, but show it again. Let's see. Now this is, yeah, I think that's what you was talking about. Yep. Yeah, so that must be it. Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's got to be it. Yeah, that's definitely manipulated. Again, it's energy. You know, it's all about energy. The more successful, and I'm not saying like I can, let's see if we can find this. Now, it's not the fact that he hooked the ball. It wasn't the fact that he hooked the ball. That wasn't the fact. The fact is that, you know, he's jumping off one leg, okay? And again, the leg he jumped off, he didn't jump towards the basket. This dude just jumped up way and then he threw just a hook. I mean, it's not believable. It's just not believable, but good call. Thank you for letting me, for bringing that to my attention. I appreciate this. Whoa, okay, this ain't much. It's gonna go really quick. So, this is what's called the BBA. This is the year before the NBA. This is the BBA. Look at how, this is the John Wooden court. You know, when John Wooden played, they had this little court. And you know basketball, let me see if I can go a little forward to give you a better angle of it. All right. So the old way when John Wooden played in the 1920s or 30s, it was, I think, all this, the lane and everything. And, you know, they changed all this lane because of Will Chamberlain. You know, this is a pro game, but look at the lane. You know, this lane hadn't been changed since it was created. But anyway, the old way of basketball was when you scored, you brought it back to here and you jump balled it. So if you kept scoring on this end, you kept the ball on this end, because every time if you could win the jump ball, you could keep it. You know, it was like the other team didn't get the ball. After you scored a basket, you had a jump ball right here. And look at how small the lane is. And again, they switched this lane because of Wilt. I think in 1947, you could still probably go 10. But this is Philadelphia Warriors, which is the Warriors, and the Chicago Stags. Look at that. This is a hook shot. But look at the lane. Oh, that's a two-hand push shot. This is a set shot. I don't think we see it. He does it so quick you can't see it. But it's a set shot. But see, everything is, you know, everything is a hook. That's why Connie Hawkins was so devastating. He would go up like he was going to hook it, and then he would dunk on motherfuckers. See, hook shots. Ah, there's a jump shot. Damn, you can shoot it from out of bounds? What, that nigga out of bounds? You can shoot it from out of bounds back then? I swear he was out of bounds. Oh, okay, he was in bounds. I was like, damn, is he taking the ball out? Golly. He hit that shit. Now, we know ain't no minute. Well, maybe. Wow. Wow, that was a deep. Was that a jump shot or was that a set shot? Shit, he jumped. Damn, he rose deep on these motherfuckers. Look how deep he is. See, he kind of set up for a set shot, but he jumps. And I mean, this is shit. I bet this is 27, 28 feet, if not further, if not 30 feet out. Oh, he kind of shot it like a set shot. Oh, he still shot it like a set shot. Backdoor cut. He traveled. Okay. So this is pre-NBA. All Europeans running them Globetrotter plays. Damn, that runner went. See? BBA. All right, let me show you. BAA. So the BAA. But I caught one time where these mugs was just hooking. Maybe this is it. Where everybody's just hooking the ball. Like nobody shot jumpers. It's just everybody's just throwing hooks. It was interesting. And what is this? Is this college? Doesn't really say. Okay, let's check it out. I don't know if this is college or pro. It doesn't really say. Look at the dude got the knee pads and everything. Again, all Europeans. Still the skinny lane. You see how the lane looks? What is it giving me? Yeah, it's just saying ball from 1939. I don't know what league this is. That's set shot. You see the set shot? You see the two-hand set shot? That was before Jay's. Let me see if you can watch him. Watch him from he brings it from his waist. You see that? How he brings it from his waist. See? But this is one thing that's still done. You see how his feet, the way they're spread apart? You see how his energy is straight up and down? So even though his technique is old, I mean, you could consistently make it because it's still the same thing. You know, his weight and everything, the balance to be a successful outside shooter. You see, he's doing everything that you really should do. The only thing is again, he was taught that you do the oomph from here instead of having the ball up here and jumping. You know, he was taught to set shoot it. See, he didn't jump at all, but yet he hit. So who is this? I'm trying to figure out who this is. What did jerseys say? Them shiny jerseys. Who is this? I can't see clear enough who this is. Look at that. Wow, that's a deep ass shot. But look at that. Boom. You see how basketball used to be pure, even though maybe they were point shaving? I mean, you know, electronics had nothing to do with him having a successful shot. As I said before, look at his feet. You know, look at his feet. Everything that still is done today is in this energy, except he's not using, you know, the jump. You know, he's using more of a thrust from here, but everything is the same, pretty much. You know, you still have to have this kind of energy consistently. You see that? Man, this is a Globetrotter play. You know, the high post. And I think this is Madison Square Garden. I think. Could be wrong. Damn, how'd he throw that shit up there? Look, he can't dribble left-handed. You see that? Did you check that out? Dude can't dribble left-handed. Watch this. Watch dude there. He can't dribble left-handed. I mean, this is how unskilled he is. See that? He's dribbling down the left-hand court, but he's not dribbling left-handed. Because he can't. So the skill level wasn't high enough. Watch this dude. Look. He's on the left-hand side down the court. You should be dribbling left-handed. But he's not because he can't. He doesn't have that skill level. See, he couldn't even gather himself. All Europeans in the stands. This is a European thing. Oh, this is 1939, I think. What is I can't make out the jerseys. Probably college, I'm guessing. Okay. I was looking for the one where everybody's throwing hooks. I even saw the Dr. J move, the move where Dr. J goes under the basket. I found a dude from these old highlights in the early 50s do it. What is this? Let's see, anything else of old time basketball? 1950. This dude put some work on him. Let's see. I want to see what kind of work he do on him. What does it say? Jim Folks scores 39. Game 1, 1947 BBA Finals. First finals in NBA history. Not technically, because the NBL and the BBA, y'all merged. So not technically. All right. This is, I wonder if it's colorized or. This is pretty blurry. Can't really. Okay, I'm trying to see what's going on. Can't really see this shit. God damn, this is some fuzzy shit. Okay, I guess this guy, well, whoever scores is Jim Folks right there. That's Jim Folks. Damn, that was quick as hell, wasn't it? Damn, that was a couple minutes of some shit. But I wish I could find that where I found the dude doing the Dr. J move, and he was shorter. He did, I'm telling you, he did the Dr. J move where he floated. He jumped from one side of the basket to the other, floated behind the basket, turned his. Now, this dude's move was better because Doctor brought it like this and flipped it behind him. This dude, once he went on the other side, he turned back. So Dr. J still stayed with his back like this and threw it up. No, that dude did the same thing. That dude did it. He flipped it behind his head. Yeah, he did. He flipped it, but he did the same move where he went from one side. This dude looked to only be about 5'8". He went from, like Dr. J did, he went from that baseline, walked in the air under the basket, and he flipped it back behind him, like Dr. J did, but much shorter. I don't know about him not having any skill, but... There's a 1946 game. Let's see, 46-47 season. Oh, this is the first game. That's why, people ask, why is it still a team in Toronto? Right here. And, the Minnesota Muskies of the ABA, Huskies, they use this name. But Toronto was one of the original, and that's why we have a team there today, because of that. Damn, these dudes ain't tall at all. Look at this kills me. This lane kills me where it's 3 seconds call, but you can be right there. Right there, you could dominate. And not because of Michael Jordan, because of Wilt. They changed the rules. Back then, you could jump from the free throw line to the basket on your free throws and dunk it. There was no rule against it. Wilt did it in practice and they made a rule against it. But technically, if Wilt would have did that in the game, there was no rule against it. And I mean, Wilt was in high school. You could go 10. You could go 10. In these games right here, you could go 10. Yeah, this is 1947 season. You could go 10 in these games. You can tell that wow, that's a deep J. And he hit that motherfucker. Ooh, that J was deep. Yeah, the Europeans. Damn, he just threw that shit. Look at the ref, boy. The ref he got that silky shit on too. He's actor. You can tell he's actor. Look at this dude. Set shot for a free throw. He hit it though. Hey, you can smoke in the arena and everything. I think in the 70s, when I used to go to Western Michigan University to watch games, I think people could still smoke in the arena. You can smoke in this motherfucking everything. This looks like that wall right there makes me think they're in an old hockey arena. Yeah, it makes sense in Toronto. So yeah, that's all they got for us. The first NBA game. So, it's not impossible to make certain shots. I wanna play this clip from my main man because the shit is powerful. So let me find it. Yeah, here. There it is. Yeah, I want to play this one part he put in here. This is going to be all right. Okay, I'm going to give you some reference before I show this. I'm going to give you some reference. Now, as I said before, we have America for a long time has had the most cold-blooded killers that, Dick Gregory tells you. The most cold-blooded killers ever comes from, America. We got to, they raise killers. They raise the imbecile psychopaths. But not every country's is killers. Now, though, the motherfuckers in Japan, that's a culture of killing. And if you get into their porn is some of the sickest shit, some of the snuff films. Them Japanese still some nasty ass people. Now, no offense to everybody out. My aunt is Japanese. No offense to you, honey, but it's a culture of some fucked up shit. Definitely some murder, death, kill shit on just the most horrific torture shit. All right. Now, all you got to do if you want to know, these motherfuckers, the massacre and rape of what is it called? Manpang, the rape or massacre of Manpang. Is that the name of it? But again, with a destroyer and 30,000 troops, it's always been a lot of motherfuckers in China. A destroyer and only 30,000 troops, and they did not send enough people. Their army got annihilated, and not just annihilated, raped and murdered, tens of thousands of people. These are not fighters. These are not fighters. And they're not as sophisticated as they make us try to think. And that's just not me falling for propaganda. These are not fighting people. And you see why they keep a lid on them Japanese motherfuckers. Because them some nasty killers. But not them motherfuckers from China. Now, again, I've said we could have annihilated all them. They was out in the open. All right? They was out in the open. If they really wanted to wipe them people out, they could have wiped them out in Korea. They didn't even need atom bombs. Again, napalm. They could have easily wiped all them. They put their whole army right there on the Yellow River. And if the Americans could have really wanted to get rid of them, they could have got rid of them then. They didn't even need nuclear bombs. Just start. They had no Air Force to stop us from dropping bombs on them. Other than the MiGs from Korea that we shot down, almost all of them. MiGs from Korea, MiGs from Russia is all they had, and we had them outnumbered. So, if they wanted to get rid of the Chinese, they could have got rid of them then. They was all out in the open. So they ain't really people we got to worry about. We got a lot of imbecile psychopaths in America. We got killers. They find the killers. Some countries ain't so bad, but, and I know this is a little bit of propaganda, but this is something about what he says. So Ancestor Production, hope you don't mind me passing this on, brother, but I'm going to let this play. Oh. Ooh, I'm not getting any sound off this. Ooh, they're looping this. Ooh, they're looping it. Why are they looping this? Yeah, I'm not getting any sound off this. Okay. That ain't the only way to hear it. All right, okay. Let's see. Because I've had them do this before where they mute this shit. It's still looping. Okay, they might have tried to take us down. I'm sorry, they might have tried to take that shit down. Let's see if I can get it here. Because the audio is worth it. Let's see. Because they might have took that shit down. Let's find if they did or not. No, I don't want it there. Let's go. Yeah, let's go here and try that.
You may be hard to believe.
All right. Okay, they want to fuck around now. Let it play here. That's all right. Okay, let's try that again. I got the audio. All right. Maybe I'll have to do. I did it. What the fuck? Okay, let's try it again. Maybe. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, they're looping this on the computer. Okay. That's all right. All right. All right. I'm going to do this.
150,000 soldiers already. No, 500,000 people are not going to storm Gaza. It's not possible because modern day fighting force needs maneuvering space. What we're seeing today is a lot of bombing of Gaza. May Allah have mercy on all of those people. A lot of bombing of Gaza because they're afraid to go in. By and large, the Israeli army, except for a few special forces units and reconnaissance units that are very well trained, by and large, the Israeli forces army fear death. And this performance isn't this is not my analysis on their performance. This is the Israeli military's analysis on their performance. In 2006, they fought with Hezbollah. Hezbollah is a militia. Yes, they're backed by Iran, but they're still a militia. They're not a standing military the way a country standing military is. However, they were still very equipped. So what they found out in Israeli reports, because the performance was so bad, in one report by General Yaram Yair, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, Israeli general, the former commander of a parachute brigade, he found in his investigation that some of them included a failure to identify targets and define clear missions, brigade commanders who stayed in the rear behind computer screens instead of leading their troops in the field. He also found a problem with the field commander's lack of determination to carry out the mission at all costs. Common complaints included instructions to fight carefully and pause in fighting every time injuries were sustained. This goes back to the original article that we were reading that was by military correspondent Ben Yeshai in that newspaper, where he mentions that in reality, in almost any ground battle, the moment our troops encountered resistance, the force's progress stopped, commanders demanded assistance, and the fighting focused on evacuating casualties from the battlefield. And he goes on to say what's particularly frustrating in most of these clashes involved a handful of Hezbollah fighters numbering no more than 20. In almost all the clashes, IDF forces enjoyed superiority in terms of number of fighters and firepower. I mean, the only thing missing from these bullet points is that the Israelis crapped their pants. Every time that they met with resistance, they froze. And instead of continuing forward with the mission, their only concern was to evacuate troops out. You had arrests happening because they refused to follow orders and go in because they knew they were going to get themselves killed. Sometimes commanders would even change orders last minute because they knew that they weren't up to the task and that they were just going to be sent on a suicide mission. By and large, Israeli performance in the 2006 war was terrible. And to give a real life example, and this is true, this is not an exaggeration, this is in their own reports. The Battle of Ait al-Shab, which lasted about 5 weeks, and it was in the southern, it was a city in southern Lebanon. This battle, right, started off with 2.5 weeks of airstrikes and bombardment, similar to what we are seeing in Gaza now. So airstrikes and bombardment, airstrikes and bombardment, airstrikes and bombardment, nonstop. But eventually, guys, and here's the thing you all have to know, eventually, no matter if it's Gaza, if it's Kiev in Ukraine, Stalingrad in World War II, after the bombing, soldiers still have to go into the city. No matter how much bombing takes, you have to go into the city eventually. You have to go into that country, you have to go and take it over. So when they went in after the 2.5 weeks of bombing, they went in, right? And we're talking about, and this is no exaggeration, 5 brigades. 5 brigades is about 1,000 soldiers each. So we're talking 5,000 soldiers against 100 Hezbollah fighters. And this is no joke. This is in the Israeli reports themselves. 80 to 100 Hezbollah soldiers fought off several thousand Israeli soldiers. And the Israeli soldiers just kept freezing up. Every time they met resistance, they kept freezing up. And Israel was not able, they simply were not able to capture the city. And they just had to leave. They had to do a tactical retreat. And it was an embarrassment, which is why so many reports came out. Not only that, but Israel is known for not practicing proportionality in combat. So the UN got involved, they did their own investigations, which is how we got some of these embarrassing reports. They were bombing civilian centers, they were using cluster bombs, they were using white phosphorus, all the same things that they're doing to Gaza now, all the same things that they're doing to Palestinians now. They were doing all of that, but in the end, when the ground forces came in, they crumbled, right? Similarly, you had another battle, the Battle of Bint Jubair. And there's another city in southern Lebanon that took place around the same time, and again, they were not able to dislodge the Hezbollah fighters from the city. They had to leave the city as well. Not only that, there was a battle, it was an infamous battle called the Battle of the Flag. Why was it infamous? Because the Israelis said, okay, let's just take our flag, let's put it in another building, not the building we were supposed to capture. We'll plant the flag there, we'll take some pictures and we'll leave. It was so embarrassing that they never published the photos. But the fact that they actually did a move like that shows you just how little has changed in terms of the propaganda warfare, in terms of the bombing, in terms of them delaying going into Gaza. They're just delaying it because they know that the performance is not up to task. Now, someone might say, well, 2006 Lebanon war is a long time ago. Yes, but according to Scott Ritter, who is a former Marine Corps intelligence officer and United Nations Special Commission's weapon inspector, has a long name, that's why I had to look back into my notes. According to him, the Israeli military capability is still not improved since 2006. They did several things to try and prepare for fighting against Hezbollah-like army, but they still weren't ready for this. And the fact that they weren't ready for this, the attack that happened about 6 days ago by the Palestinian resistance, shows that they still haven't improved. The soldiery still hasn't improved. We're talking about 28% of Israeli military-aged men are avoiding the service that they're supposed to do as Israeli citizens. So that's about a little less than 1/3 of the Israeli population doesn't want to serve. The rest of them, and the majority of them, are busy doing TikTok videos. And that was actually in his analysis, that psychologically they're just not prepared for a war like this. These guys have been spending their entire military service as a kind of glorified security guard, as a kind of glorified checkpoint guard. They're good at sniping children, they're good at killing women and beating up grandmas, but whenever they meet stiff resistance, actual trained soldiers, they are not up to the task. And this is why I'm saying, I'm telling you guys now, when they go into Gaza, and they will have to go into Gaza at some point, they're gonna lose, and it's gonna be very embarrassing. And that's the dangerous part, is because once they're embarrassed, they're gonna have to call on aid and other countries for support, and then this conflict will escalate. But anyway.
And that's when they're gonna want your black asses to fight for these motherfuckers. So you see what they're doing to the video. You know, go to Ancestral Production, Genocide Joe. They wouldn't let me put it on here, but the phone still. So Ancestral Production, Genocide Joe. So you want to get the full depths of what they're saying. Interesting. I thought they were highly trained fighting machines. That's, yeah, see, propaganda. And you think they got all the bread. I mean, I've said this before. You know, they talking about giving them more bread for this fight. During COVID, we gave them $55 million per person. Now, you know, I hear voices, well, you know, there's certain budgets that's supposed to go to military and it's supposed to go here. And so it can't go anywhere else. Once the budget's set and there's these millions there, that's the only thing it can go. I mean, that's a fucked up kind of government. If you say, you know, 500 billion have to go on some type of military, who says if I'm part of the government, I can't say, fuck giving that shit to them? Let's put it somewhere else. What kind of government is saying, no, it just got to stay in the military? So we just gave them, a couple years ago, 55 million per person, and they live a very lavish lifestyle over there. Very lavish. But when they get that real heat, look like more like that. And that's what I'm saying, you know. And it's like, without American help, if all of them, that's why they already bombed in Syria. So don't think American, if they really try to get rid of them peoples, America is going to bomb and be on them people's side. And it's funny, I've said this before. They said that, well, why did they want Iraq? And they said they wanted a presence in the Middle East. And this is General Clark. I read this shit, it must have been 2000. Well, when Keelan was a baby, so 2002 perhaps. He said that, you know, Iraq, they needed a presence. That's some bullshit. They got them peoples. That country is their presence. And that's why they created Kuwait. They created Kuwait. The Saudis claim that they should own all that shit. That's what the Saudis claim, that all that shit is them. The Ottomans took it from them. They expected to get all that shit. And they got, you know, a little bit. They didn't even get all Arabia. They broke that shit up because Iran used to be the British. You know, the Shah was backed by American and British. But British petroleum came out of Iran. Was it BP, British Petroleum? Yeah, so yeah, check that out, you know. But it's funny they won't let me play it. That is real funny. Won't nothing play? Everything's looping? It's funny that basketball wasn't looping. And basketball bullshit I just showed wasn't looping. But his stuff loops. Okay. Okay, they've corrupted this shit tonight. I'm glad I'm not going to go very long anyway. I don't know if any debauchery, and this looks like they done cut off my debauchery. So I don't know if there's going to be any debauchery tonight. I don't think so. And I wasn't going to go long. This is a video really for the games. Yeah. Oh, shit. I forgot this happened. I'm going to let it go. No, they pretty cut me off. Everything's looping. This might, this might not be because we've been having issues all day too. But it's funny, the phone's not looping, but the computer's looping. I'm surprised I'm even getting out here. I'm surprised they ain't took me off. I should look to see if I'm still on the way this shit is looking. Hell, I might not even be still on. The way they do. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm even on. There we go. So I might not even be on no more. Not seeing it. No, yeah, they cut me off too. So I'm off. Okay. Oh no, I'm not off. Okay, I'm still on. All right. I'm not looping. I guess just the system is looping. I guess they're not gonna let none of the other stuff play. Wow. Yeah, they've got everything I try to play loop but me. Because usually it's this is loop too, but that's all right. You don't want me to show any debauchery, so I tried to show the ancestor production. They fucking with the system, so that's all right. I can go, and I wasn't gonna go a whole lot longer. What is it? Yeah, I'm not gonna go a whole lot longer. I'm a little tired, so it was really just to get the scores in. But yeah, check that out yourself. See what you think, and don't fall for their propaganda. That's the point. And I'm proud of the world. The world is standing up for melanated people. And this is the first time. Usually, the world is always tricked. The world is tricked. And the world believes everything that, everything that Columbia says, the world believes Columbia's propaganda. And so this is one time where the world says enough is enough, leave them people alone. And then people's is shocked. I mean, they're really shocked about it. The world is shocked. And, when they try to compare them and say they're compared to apartheid, they don't like that. But it's the same comparatives. And, it's like all the systems have to come to an end eventually. I mean, even apartheid. And, there's laws. You can't boycott them peoples. You try to boycott Israel, there's laws against that. So, I mean, they're what does he call it? They're lobbyist, the A something. They're lobbyists. I mean, billions to our government. That's why the government feeds them back, because of their billions, their effect on this country. Nancy Pelosi, again, she said that they would still get money from America if America was even burning. That's her exact word. America would be on fire and you would still get your money. That's almost a prophecy. It's like, even if it was evil and people was attacking the country, if we still had money, we would still give it to you. Now that's a very bold statement. That some kind of way, even if the world was part of the country was failing, there would still be money to given to them. That's a quite bold statement. So you telling me at the same time we fighting a war, we gonna still give money to them? It's like that, huh? That's what she proclaimed, though, and she said it more than once. You can find it more than once. So But I didn't. This is, going into Monday, new week for people. I don't really, come here to talk about that, but since you want to fuck with my computer tonight, I can talk shit. It explains the billions that they sent there while we fight Big Brother will save you. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, you can't tell me the money that you give to all these other countries, Ukraine. You ain't hearing nothing about Ukraine, but when Biden asked for more bread, he put Ukraine and Taiwan in there. He said, I need bread for Israel, I need bread for Taiwan, and I need bread for Ukraine. And that's why some of these conservatives was like, wait a minute. We're with helping them, but we're not giving more money to Taiwan and giving more money to them other folks. And I'm gonna use a little bit of quantum of science as rationale. Why would Japan want to fight any war? They sell junk to the world. They are the #1 junk makers in the world. And I mean literally worthless things. America used to make the most worthless things. Now China makes the most worthless things. Worthless things that they're charging Americans for, and the products are cheaper and cheaper. Prime example, right here, that picture frame. Used to get picture frames. I've got picture frames from my children from 5 or 6 years ago, Dollar General. Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree. That shit there is the cheapest, worst quality of shit. Like you could barely put it on your wall. I mean, you gotta be so. They didn't used to be like that. You pay $1, actually it was 99 cents, and the shit was decent. It wasn't gonna fall apart on your wall. So you telling me they gonna risk all that to go to war with us? Now these other people, ain't a lot of business, ain't a lot of business going on that are going to be disrupted. Other than America needs a presence in the Middle East. And that's why that country is there. It's their military, it's our military presence too. So don't, ever think that's, that's why, I just thought about what Clark said. He's like, well, that's why we needed to be. No, you got Kuwait and you got there. And I mean, you can look at all the bases that surround that area. Look at all the bases that surround Russia. I mean, there's bases everywhere, so what games are they playing? We know where the bases are. It's no secret. You can look, you can see where the ships are. Shit, Jody was showed me a map, a app where you can find where the ships is moving. I think she did some of her older videos. You can see it where she would show, you can see where these ships are. And I mean, really, really, like this is like, what would happen? Like, check this out. What would happen if some being was able to come in, get rid of this government, get rid of all these wicked people, bring all that military equipment back, let them people in Korea figure it out, bring them people back from Germany, bring all the troops back, let them work normal jobs. We worry about our coast. And we let them figure out what the fuck they do. Now, is that naive? Is that naive? Now, these war hawks that we live under, they need war, because war feeds a being too. That's fear, death. There's these phantoms, they love war. That's funny. I said before, that thing about phantoms. Phantoms love war. You in a major killing, you're going to start seeing that shit. Because that shit loves mass murder on a large scale, especially war. Look at the old stories. All old stories, they tell you. They see some shit that's out there. I mean, go any war, do a real deep research. You see what these motherfuckers talking about. They see that shit that sucks up from murder like that and revels in it, and it feeds them. So, what if a being was able to do that and let everybody else fix their own problems? Tell them people in Ukraine, that's your problem. You fix it. Everywhere else, they fix their own fucking problems. America pulls out everywhere. We keep agents for motherfuckers that's trying to fuck with us, but as long as the world quits fucking with us, we should pull everybody out and let them the fuck alone. And you know what the war hawks say? You know what the imbecile psychopaths say? Well, you know, they're always plotting to kill us. They're always plotting to kill America and take over America. Really? 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 Where they at? The people that's coming from Mexico want jobs. We can solve their problem very easy by just putting their asses to work. They ain't trying to overthrow no shit. They coming over here and want to work. So that sounds like an army that's not really a problem. They just want to work, give them decent cribs. Okay, it's plenty for that. But we could do that where the fuck they live too. We take that military might and we go into South America, and them pirates that's extorting all the people making gold, that's who we attack. We attack all the cartels. If they really want to get rid of it, we attack them. We attack Mexico, attack all the cartels, and put them out of business. If they really want to put them out of business, that's the first thing. After calling all the troops to America, that's the first move. Go back and stabilize all these countries. And let them self-determination. Again, the only strike force should be, again, when corruption comes in. And we have a very, very democratic way of saying who the corruption. It ain't hard. The money is corruption. And let these people, we stop the bullying. That would be the only police force you need, is just stop the bullying. Let you saying this system, this type of economy is the way it's supposed to work. Democracy. Truly let it work. Without the bullying, without the force. Without the bias. And you see how functional America and the islands will become. And the whole world. Now you're going to say, well, that doesn't stop people from attacking one another. That's true. That's true. But then you would keep a strike force to stop that kind of thing. Not just be there all the time, looking. You actually got a reason to go. And you got enough bombs that you don't really need, they fuck up somewhere, bomb them, drone them. Send them jets over there. But again, even that has to be a whole thing, just like, a whole thing, the whole nation vote on that shit. Everybody have a real vote. Should we go attack these motherfuckers? What do y'all think? True people's government. So, is that naive? That's what they fear. Again, I've said before, the elites think that if they're not in charge, that's the end of the world that they talk about. What's in the Bible, that's them. That's what they say is going to happen if they're not in charge. That's really what they're trying to scare you about. That's what the end of that Bible tells you. That if they're not in charge, they're going to release all this on us. So they're the ones protecting us from that. Again, that goes into their thinking, the Planet of the Apes. Man can't be in charge. We'll blow all of it up. Reset it. Because that's what you see in the movies after that. The reset. And they're good at that. They like resetting. Because, COVID was a reset. 9/11 was another reset. There's been a bunch of resets. We just, people didn't realize that's what was being happened. That's what happened. Kennedy getting killed. Lincoln getting killed. Lincoln was a reset after the Civil War. They had another reset after the Civil War. It was a reset there. Now, that nonsense about the mud flood and shit, about it, Komet being here. Yeah, okay. We know who was here. Give me that Massa. Massa brought his brother, sailed the hardest route again. That's the flaw in that story. Again, the hardest route again across the Atlantic. Not that he came the northern route, which is the easiest way if you want to go to America. Is you take the northern route, round Europe, Iceland. No, they'll tell you from Africa, he comes straight across. And we know this next to impossible in the type of boats and technology he had. Now, it's a different point with the time walkers. They had different technology, but I'm not getting into that. Because they did say that the Time Walkers even helped the Moors defeat the old Roman Empire. But they had a better technology. And their technology, you know, they got rid of the wicked at the time. And then they stepped back. Said, okay, you know, this is the reset we're going to do. We're going to help you. And then it's reset enough. So, and they're the ones that really couldn't sustain it. You know, again, trying to attack everybody. And Islam only went to Europe so far. It's not, is it Charlemagne, the German Charlemagne? Was that his name? The one that defeated him? No, Chartel. I'm trying to get the old European history and try to remember, but Islam got defeated and only went so far. So that, you know, that they reset it and they said, hey, it's on you. Europeans was able to halt Islam to so far. Oh, says it's time to stand. So I'm going to stand. Oh, okay. Whew. Oh, okay. Oh, this is exciting time to be alive. And, you know, despite the way things are, you know, see what the world is really trying to tell you. And don't be swayed by propaganda and understand what propaganda is. Because there's still things to learn, you know? There's still things to know. So don't ever be swayed and think it's all given out and it's no good. You know, what did Bobby Hemmett say? You know, all the magic books don't work no more. And that ain't really true. It's how you apply it. They give you formulas and it's how you apply it. Now you ain't gonna just read the book and be, you know, Superman. You can do it all, but each book get a little bit out of it and say, you know, what did Julia do to the magicians when she started getting magic back? She was just able to, you know, build a little fire in her hands. So learn what little bit you can. That's so funny. All right, so know yourself and learn whatever you can. And tap into the magic that's really here, that's for us in America. Because nature is still for the people that love nature. Like everybody should have plants growing in their homes. Everybody. Because you take care of something. You put nature inside, especially when it's wintertime like up here. I'm happy to have plants that I take care of. Because I want that connection to nature. I put these motherfuckers out all summer because I wanted them for a few months to have that connection. I wanted them to be in the storms. I wanted them to, you know, let bugs bite on them. But then when it gets cold, they're coming back in. And that's the majority of the year. I'm looking at a plant right now. There's one right there. My daughter's room has the most light, so I got my big plants in there. And my big corn plant is just giant up to the wall. I've got 2 plants downstairs. So, you know, I work with nature constantly. So nature is a friend. And like they, you know, it's a real saying. Even when it's bad, it's good. You know, and again, you know, you don't want to be happy because happy comes sad. You know, you want to be joyful. You want to be blissful. You want to be about love, things that have no opposite. Because this thing, you know, it wants to give you opposites every time. You know, it's the Joker. Bomber tells you that. The Joker wants to throw the Joker in there on you every time. And you don't have to play the Joker's game. You know, and I'm gonna tell you this about me, you know, and this is how much I love genuineness when I see it. On Netflix, they got a beautiful thing about Yogi Berra. Now, all sports are scripted. They've been scripted from the very beginning. But his love, his understanding, and his worth ethic, I was blown away. I learned some things about how he worked to be good. This man 5'8". This man is the biggest winner next to Bill Russell. Bill Russell won 11 rings. Yogi Berra won 10. And he won 3 as a coach. But his love was so genuine. Just his love of being out there, his knowledge. And again, it's fixed. It was fixed then. But just his love and his knowledge and putting in the work, because again, you got to hit the ball. You got to make them J's. You got to dunk it. You got to catch it. So that part is real. And it hit me emotionally about this man and what was done. This man had already won 2 World Series as a baseball coach, as a coach. He was a assistant coach, had won 2 World Series. He gets a chance to be in the coach of the Yankees. They give him basically 3 series, like 16 games. 16 games is roughly, you've played 4 teams. I think it was you play roughly 4 teams. So how can you evaluate a coach when you only play in 4 teams? Because they had a bad spot. And so this motherfucker, and what I also liked about him, this man had been with the Yankees close to 30 years. When they did that to him, he said, fuck you. Just like people have to realize, Bill Russell did not go to Boston for years. I mean, the way Boston did him, he's like, when he was done playing and coaching, it was a long time before he went back to Boston. Shit, Yogi Berra went almost 20 years, didn't go back to Yankee Stadium. He refused to go. And then the owner, Brenner, apologized to him, and then he brought him back in. And so the work I can appreciate. The love I can appreciate. Using what natural ability you have to be successful when you really shouldn't, I can appreciate. And here's a dude that wasn't a very handsome dude, and he played that to get him multiple rich. Played a character perfectly, and the character got him paid. You know, he was truly a dude who got paid for just being him. He was just a funny looking dude, but he was witty. And he truly got paid for being him when he didn't play baseball. It's like the way they did him, it didn't matter. He was still famous. And so that touched me. Because the love and the effort. It's like Mickey Mantle is another cat. And it showed you his selfishness. Mickey Mantle's dad would pitch to him every day. Every day when his dad got off work, he would pitch to him. You think Mickey Mantle put that effort in his children? Not at all. Yogi Berra, one of Yogi Berra's sons played pro baseball. Another one played minor league baseball. So from the time Yogi Berra was a little boy, his dad pitched baseballs to him every day. And do you think he put that effort in his children? He thought getting drunk and chasing hoes was more important than trying to develop his children. You know? And that's, again, if the children want to do something, they want to do it, then you open the door. Like all my children, like I tell my own children, my son is 6'8". When I think he was in 4th or 5th grade, I don't quite remember, but both my boys was in leagues. And so they had practice. My, say, 5th grader, he had his practice, and then the 4th graders practice next. So I had them practice both. I had my 4th grader practice with the 5th graders. But again, my son has some emotional issues. It showed me right there. He didn't love it. He didn't love it. because a child that loved it would have been glad. Now, my son that's 28, that age, he would have happy to do pro practices. And then my son that's 22 now, he was playing in 2 baseball leagues, trying to see if he loved it. One day he said, Dad, I think I just want to play in this league. Okay. That showed me right there. All I needed to know, he didn't love it. And so, I backed off. I was like, okay, you don't love it anymore. That's all right. You don't love it. And you can't install, you can't force this heart on people. I saw Jordan's boys. Neither of his boys was good as Larry Jordan. Neither one of those boys was good as Larry. not even, again, it's the way Michael got tall. It makes you wonder, because ain't nobody in that family tall, but makes you wonder. Yeah, I didn't force my kids to do what I like. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I let them, pick what they wanted to do. And I have a few regrets, I should have kept my house on the north side. The boys were playing a lot of basketball. It was a nice house. I kind of regret it. I could have stayed in that house instead of moving where I moved before I moved in this house. I could have stayed in that house. And I kind of, looking back, I kind of wish I'd have kept that house. The area, I was on the north side, but my boys were constantly playing basketball. So that probably would have benefited from them from that area. But, didn't happen that way. Didn't happen that way. And so, but yeah, Jordan's boys weren't good as Larry Jordan. And Larry Jordan could really play. I mean, he could really play. And neither boy. And I saw both boys play AAU. I'll tell you, it was good. Bill Cartwright had a daughter that was really good. She was playing high school, like 8th, 9th grade. She was like 7th, 8th grade. She was playing high school. I wonder how she ended up doing. I think she was Brittany Cartwright, if I remember right. I remember Bill Lambier's daughter. He coached girls basketball AAU for a number of years. That's how I first met him, other than seeing him play. But met him was through AAU basketball. MYAT or MYABT, something like that. He did that too. He followed both leagues. He did AAU and that other league. Stacey King, same thing. He had 2 boys, I think, that played. And they all got to be grown now. I mean, this is 20 years ago. So all those people have to be grown now. But, it's people that put effort. And you see now, Carmelo's putting effort in his son. LeBron, what did they say about Deion's son, that he made 4.7 last year, 4.5? And they want to change the rules. Oh, Deion, that shit was so fixed. I talked about this last night. I mean, when he took that hit on the sideline where it bounced off the dude's helmet, he had 2 players open, like all night though. He had those crossing routes. They was running those crossing routes. Again, I didn't catch all the game, but I watched enough of the game. Crossing routes was open against you, because I noticed against when they played Stafford, and Stafford wasn't even running it enough. It was like Stafford killed Colorado with crossing routes, but UCLA didn't even run crossing routes against Colorado. But Colorado crossing routes was open, and he's back there running around, not throwing it. So he's going to get in the NFL. He might even get the Heisman. I don't know. It just depends. They're going to let that. There's a lot of bread. People forget there's a lot of bread there. And what is it? Bowls. They say now. I heard they say Bowles is only 5 wins. So if he wins one more game, he's bowl eligible. I already read somewhere that I think the Peach Bowl had already reached out to him. So if he wins one more game, he's in a bowl. And if you don't win the nationally ranked, that's all you want to do. You get a month off and you play in a bowl. The school gets some money. Your players get some exposure. That's what it is. That's successful. If you make a bowl, that's successful. That's a successful season. That's the way college works. You went to a bowl. My junior year, we went to a bowl. We had a successful season. And so, yes, everybody wants to be champions, but that ain't really how it's gauged. It's gauged, again, if you went to a bowl. And I know the last, with the final teams, it's not as they're taking a little importance out of it, but again, it's still there. It is a reward for having a winning season. That's what the bowls are. They're a reward for having a winning season. And if you can get 5 wins, I think that's what it is. 5 wins. Selling out games at home on the road. Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, 1 to time slot again. That game is prime time. So, his team is playing decent, but still, people watching the games. It ain't like that he ain't going to fill up. When they go back to Colorado, they going to be up in there again. Because all the games, even that game they lost, the way they lost, it still was an exciting game. It was ridiculous, but it was still exciting. It was still an exciting game. So, that's what you want in entertainment. So they're going to go to see again. And again, I think what he said in his interview was right. They said, what is the main problem? Depth. That's the main problem is depth. Because once season goes, you start having injuries, you can't bring guys in. So it's harder to make your show look right if you ain't got guys in. And again, it's all putting weak on small, fast on slow. Because that UCLA team ain't that great. And I mean, the way UCLA beat Stanford, that wasn't a great Stanford team. That's the bad thing about it is that team wasn't great. That team didn't. I don't know if Stanford won yesterday or Saturday or not, but against UCLA, they were not impressive at all. Like they hadn't been up to that point. And so, again, you run all the defense that can make them look good. And anybody can see how to cut it off. Like the first long touchdown that guy got, they should have known how to stop that. You telling me nobody, again, no double teams. And so, we see, Deion's son got receivers open, not hitting them. Holding the ball, scrambling instead of, so that happened the whole game too. So it's all, they lost to Washington. Yeah, I'm not surprised. That team wasn't good. I mean, again, they ran see, that's where you see the fix too. They run the defense, so that play that they ran could be successful. Like I made a video last year that said everybody and their mama knew that Adams was gonna get the ball from Rodgers. When they was at the Packers, everybody knew that one guy was gonna get the ball for the first down. And Devontae Adams, I wrote, look at that video up. I said everybody and their mama knew he was gonna get the ball. So once the dude ran the long touchdown, no double team, no switching of the defense. And the announcer said, every time the safety's high, they're going to run a slant. So the first time you see it, you don't make an adjustment to it. You just keep playing the same defense. And like people talk about zero coverage. Okay, remember the zero coverage they did against, what's his name? The religious dude that was the Heisman Trophy winner when he played Pittsburgh. And they beat, Pittsburgh won. Again, tight end ran a slant. Cover zero, nobody back. What was that? He was the Heisman Trophy winner. They couldn't pass in the NFL, but remember they did that in the one playoff game, so he won a playoff game. Remember that? 15 from Florida. I'm old man, and I can picture his face. But it's like they ran the defense so that could work. Did you see? That's analytics. Put this defense in. And I said I had an old toy, and I should look it up what that toy was called, but it had disc, and I could pick from my offensive disc. And the computer automatically had a defense for it. So I'd stick in the disc, give in the down, because some kind of way you could put the down in. You had to program the down in, and you put the record in. And it told you what happened on the play. And I mean, it's the same thing. They say, okay, let's do this so we can get this. So that's how simple it is. And baseball is the simplest. I mean, it's by far, it's always been the simplest to fix. Baseball is easy to fix. So those of you that are baseball, fans, it's easy to fix baseball. That's why, it's not the balls. It ain't the balls like basketball and football. It ain't the balls. I got to find the video where the player from Seattle threw a DB from Denver assigned to miss the tackle. Yeah. Yeah, it's a couple like that. Matter of fact, when Cleveland Remember when Biner was about to run in Cleveland? It's kind of a sign there too. When Biner was about to win the AFC Championship, all he had to do was just hold the ball steady. And then they tell you, all year, Denver was poking the ball out. Like he didn't think about that. He didn't think, I need to hold the ball tight. And the dude pokes it out at the 1-inch line. Like he can't break the plane. He can't just dive in. He has to hold it there so he can get, knocked out. And that's very, very similar where the dude gives him a sign. We saw it tonight. Remember when they had that mad scramble tonight? What was that play where they fumbled? The running back Eckerd fumbled. And remember all the dudes that could have got the ball? And they kept, just throwing it behind them and under their legs. Nobody would grab it like it was rainy or something. Remember that tonight when Eckerd, his last fumble? Remember all of them just kept pushing it away when the first person could have grabbed it and picked it up and he didn't try to. He kind of just threw it. Remember all the people that just kept throwing it away? So that's the kind of thing they do. Yeah, it's wild seeing the fixes. Yeah, it is. But, it's always been that way. I mean, and the NFL can't, the NFL knows it's entertainment TV. You saw it from, the Brady thing. The Brady thing, they can never live that down. And then, they did a mocking. They showed the 50th or 20th anniversary or 25th or whatever anniversary of that, of them fixing it in America, still believing in them. That's how respectful they are of you. They laugh about it. And you got one man saying it was a fumble, and the other man career, again, he got a career because they called it in favor from him. Because again, his career is over with a fumble. His career was over with that fumble. He wouldn't have got a chance the next year. Not the way Belichick was, but again, they wanted to raise Belichick too, both of them. But that's it's no way they can get away from that fix. And remember, the mastermind of that fix was Goodell. Goodell is the one that came up with it. And he's a lawyer. He's not a rules person. He's a lawyer. But he's the one that came up with the tuck rule. Research that. Goodell, the reason he's the commissioner, he got rewarded because he's the one that didn't panic and say, call it a tuck rule. He's, lawyer looking through rules, came up with something. He said, we can sell this. Call it this. We can't allow the Raiders who've been suing us, we can't allow them. The Raiders went off script, so we have to rewrite the script. And that's what we saw. The Raiders weren't supposed to make them fumble. Raiders got the ball. They had no timeouts left. The game's over. They run the clock out. No, they have to fix it on the fly. And the NFL can never get away from that. And there's nothing the NFL can do to show it's not fixed, because that play right there proves. And, get the book Interception, it all proves. The mafia guys, you see them on YouTube under the shorts. We got these players strung out and then the player will fix the game for us. Yeah, it didn't really work like that. These guys basically had money. It was a fumble, but that wasn't the script. Yeah, it was a fumble, but it wasn't in the script. Exactly. They had to change it because they hated Al Davis. I mean, and the second way they fucked the Americans is, the USFL. They didn't take the millions from the NFL to keep the USFL afloat and force them to merge. And that's why Trump, tried to destroy the NFL. That was Trump's revenge, because Trump was promised if he destroyed the USFL, they would bring in the generals. Trump was already playing at the Meadowlands. I don't think at that point both the Jets and the Giants were both. I think just the Giants was playing at the Meadowlands. I think the Jets was still playing at the old stadium. Maybe I could be wrong, but Trump, that's why Trump went after him. That was Trump's revenge. So that's why the NFL became unpopular for a number of years. Trump got back at their asses because he destroyed the USFL and he was promised a team for destroying the USFL. And he did it. He destroyed them. He had convinced somebody. So you got a popular product and then you convince them to make it not popular. So you're not competing against the NFL by playing in the spring. You have two successful seasons. Then Trump comes in and says, well, we want to merge eventually. Let's go against the NFL. You see, he wrecked it on purpose, just like Isaiah Thomas wrecked the CBA, but Trump wrecked the USFL on purpose. And, the courts did not make the United States football. They did not make the NFL pay. because each franchise should have been given a lot of bread, and it should have kept them afloat where they've been forced to merge. But that wasn't done. Well, I think this is it, y'all. I think this is all I got for tonight. Yeah, I'll probably be on a little while tomorrow. This is kind of countdown getting married week, so got a lot of shit to do. I've still got to move out my garage. I couldn't get into it, so I got to move one of my storages because we're losing it. We only got 2 more days of use of it, so we're gonna clear it out and throw away the shit I don't need. And the shit I need to sell, take that with me and go sell it. Put it on Facebook Marketplace and bullshit like that. Well, y'all, enjoy the game tomorrow night. I'll probably come on tomorrow night and, talk about my winning streak, because even if I lose tomorrow, I'll still be only 10-6. I did good. I've been killing it, man. I'm gonna go back over these, but yeah, I'm pretty good. I got screwed by Anthony Davis in one of my bets today, but that's all right. I'll get better with that too.